Hello, hello, hello. So I just want to share some scriptures today in regards to the day of wrath. Um, Again, contrary to what people believe, God does get angry. Just remember when Jesus went to the temple and saw them exchange and trading, he threw them out of the house of the Lord. So there are times when God does get angry. And we have to remember that the day of wrath is coming. So you don't want to find yourself in a position where you are going to experience God's wrath. And that's why we keep beckoning, keep admonishing you, keep witnessing to you and talking to you about your eternity because you can know where you go when you leave from here. You don't have to guess, you don't have to think. The word says that you can know that you have eternal life. It's not by your works. It's by grace we are saved through faith, not works, lest any man should boast. All right, so coming from the book of Zephaniah, the first chapter, starting at the 14th verse. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasten greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, trouble, and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord. And their blood shall be poured out as dust, in their flesh as the dung. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. So, for those of you who are chasing the dollar bill, for those of you who love money more than you love God, and that day your silver or your gold will not be able to deliver you from the day of God's wrath. Stop exhausting yourself for the riches of this world, for worldly possessions. A man's life does not consist of the things he possesses. And so many of you are trying to live a life to impress others. You want to be rich so you can just relax. You want to be like the rich man could say, "Oh, so you have done well." And that very night God required his life. So all this labor you are doing, excuse me, and you got to leave it all behind for someone else to enjoy. And it's okay to have things, but when that is your priority, you love that more than God. God is not your priority, it's a problem. That's when it becomes a problem. But in the day of wrath, your silver and gold will not be able to do anything for you. There's so many people living beyond their means. They're perpetrating, trying to be someone they're not. It's just ridiculous. It's really insane. So many people, because they came up maybe a certain way, and they promised to themselves and made set goals, and that's wonderful. You set goals, you've achieved them, and now that you have all this stuff, you're still empty, because without Christ, all that doesn't matter. But if you have Christ in those things, but Christ is still your priority, that's awesome. And you should be able to help others. Don't be selfish. But so many people want to put up a facade and act like they are, wearing expensive clothes. Even as G. Bishop Patterson said, you just have an expensive wardrobe and it's hanging on dirt. At the end of the day, this is just dirt. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. You guys are fighting. It's so much vanity. The cosmetic industry, that's probably a multi-billion-dollar industry, because people trying to stay young, people trying to stay looking good, and women enhancing themselves, their breasts and their behinds, just because they want want men to, I guess, lust after them, or make believe there's some kind of a model or Barbie doll. It's just so insane. Embrace who you are. You know, you have all this stuff on, making yourself up, and there's nothing wrong with makeup, but what is your motive for doing all this? Because you're trying to look good for other people, to draw a man. It's just really insane. It is totally insane. But I know I've digressed. But people, get your heads together. Put your eyes on Jesus Christ. Stop making this life about you, about your agenda. And I'll keep saying it, because only what you do for Christ will last. Okay, so you can have the best in the world, but then you'll be like the rich man. And what did Abraham telling me said, you had the good things of life. Well, God, because it was Lazarus in the bosom of Abraham, and he asked for Lazarus to go and dip his finger or his tongue. I don't remember verbatim, but he wanted a drop of water on his tongue because he was so hot. But he was told, see, on earth you enjoyed the good life. He wouldn't even give Lazarus the crumbs from his table. He chose to feed it to the dogs. But now Abraham was enjoying eternity. So see, this is what I'm saying. You can enjoy the finer things of life and treat people any kind of way. But there is a day of reckoning. Where will you spend your eternity? You can have the good things of life, but lose your soul and spend your eternity in hell, where the fire does not cease. Think about it. Where are you headed to? Are you on the road to destruction? Are you on the road to life? Choose ye this day whom you will serve. I choose God every day. Make him your choice. Many are called, few are chosen, but you have to make yourself want to be chosen. Live for God. The best benefits, the gift that keeps on giving, peace and joy that the world can't give you. Don't delay. Love you guys.